Hello everyone, a very warm welcome or welcome back to Learn Arabic. كيف حالكم؟ أرجو أن تكونوا بخير. Today's lesson is the beginning of a new series about إضافة, more precisely, the simple one. What is that? Let's delve in. The word إضافة literally means addition, as in addition and subtraction. So what are we adding? We are adding two nouns together. What for? So that the second renders the first one definite by expressing possession or relation. The combination of the two nouns will result in a noun phrase known as إضافة construction or genitive construction. So إضافة consists on forming a noun phrase by putting one noun after another so that the second indicates possession or further define the nature of the first one, thus render it definite. To put it differently, we are transforming an indefinite noun into a definite one, either by identifying its owner or by further defining its nature. So we have two options when it comes to إضافة. However, we will limit ourselves to the first option during this series, which means that we will only try to get down pat the إضافة construction that expresses possession, such as قلم المعلم. Again, قلم المعلم. In order to achieve that, we will define and understand the إضافة construction, understand one of the purposes behind إضافة, which is expressing possession, learn the word order in إضافة, and last but not least, we will learn to use the case marking in إضافة. Right. With that being said, if you had been following us from the beginning, the technical terms إضافة and possession will definitely bring some memories back, isn't it? Like attached personal pronouns, because they express possession. Good on you. What else? We did also come across إضافة, or at least the technical term, way before that. Let me help you. Definite. Definite what? Definite nouns. Absolutely spot on. So let's recall the definite nouns lesson in order for you to understand the essence of إضافة and to also specify the nature of the nouns that can be combined to make an إضافة construction. Right. As previously stated, there are 6 types of definite nouns in the Arabic language: personal pronouns, demonstrative pronouns, relative pronouns, proper nouns, nouns defined with a definite article al, and last but not least, any noun added to one of the just mentioned definite nouns to make an إضافة construction. So one can deduce that the combination of any noun with one of the 5 types of definite nouns written on the slide will not only result in forming an إضافة construction, but it will also make the first noun definite. So we are starting to know more about the purpose of إضافة as well as the nature of the second noun. And so far we can say that the second noun has to be definite. اسم معرفة. Again, اسم معرفة, which is the case for قلم المعلم. Kindly note the definite article al. Brilliant. Now, out of the 5 possible combinations, we will limit ourselves in this series to nouns defined with the definite article al and to personal pronouns, more precisely the attached form. And we will begin our analysis with adding a noun to another one prefixed with the definite article al and see what happens. Attention please, I'm going to do things backwards this time. You will see shortly afterwards what I mean and why I'm doing that. So this is our very first إضافة construction, قلم المعلم. You can easily tell from the translation that it expresses possession, and perhaps the most striking thing for an English speaker here is the syntax. Notice that in Arabic, قلم, pen, goes first, and that al-muallimi, the teacher, the owner of that pen, goes second. Also notice that there is no link between the two Arabic nouns. So all in all, the order is reversed in Arabic. The object owned comes first, followed by the owner. No links in between. And if you can get this across to yourself and to internalize it, you won't have a whole lot of problem using إضافة. It only works backwards with no links, but it's not that difficult. Now that we have agreed on the syntax, I'm going to break down this إضافة construction. قلم المعلم emerged after combining two nouns together, an indefinite noun قلم and a definite one المعلم. Kindly note the nominative case. Why this case ending? Remember, the case ending for a standalone noun is the nominative case, and these nouns are still separate. We didn't combine them yet, so things add up. So far so good. Now, once combined, the words in إضافة act as a building block, which means that once these two nouns combine together, not only we can break them by inserting other words, which explains why there is no linkings in Arabic, not only that, but also, since definiteness and indefiniteness cannot coexist, we will have to replace the tanween at the end of قلم with its single corresponding vowel, given that the whole construction became definite, resulting in قلم المعلم. And here, if you have a keen eye, you will probably notice that we are still one step away from the إضافة construction we are aiming for. Let me remind you that the correct expression is قلم المعلم, not قلم المعلم. What's the difference? The كسرة. Well done. Accordingly, we will have to change the case ending of المعلم from the nominative case to the genitive one, resulting in المعلم. How come? It's very simple. The إضافة construction is also known as the genitive construction simply because its second noun will always have the genitive case, no exception. And when I say no exception, I'm referring to nouns that are معربة, not مبنية. More details will be provided in the second half of this series. Right, so the second noun in simple إضافة will always have the genitive case. What about the first noun? Well, it can have any case ending according to its function within the sentence, so it could be a فتحة, a كسرة, or a ضمة. Fear not, since we are still within the limits of simple nominal sentences, even if we insert this إضافة construction in a nominal sentence, it will most of the time keep its nominative case. So the nominative case is the way to go at this stage. Right, so to sum up, the basic pattern of إضافة is اسم النكرة, indefinite noun, plus اسم المعرفة, definite noun. No linking words. The first noun can have any case ending, but we will limit ourselves to the nominative one, and the second noun will always have the genitive case. Sounds simple, isn't it? Okay. Time to see if you got the hang of it by putting knowledge into practice. Let's say that there is a car, سيارة, and this car belongs to the neighbor, الجار. The ball now is in your court. You will have to form an إضافة construction equivalent to the neighbor's car. Try for yourself. Remember, إضافة works backwards, the owner comes second, which means that سيارة comes first. Notice that I cancel التنوين and replace it with its corresponding single vowel as if I'm preparing the noun to become definite. So سيارة, is it الجار or الجاري, and why? الجاري, good on you, because the second noun should take the genitive case. And the correct answer is سيارة الجاري. Again, سيارة الجاري. And here comes another example just to make sure you've got it right. And this time there is a key, مفتاح, and it belongs to the grandmother, الجدة. And the question is, how do we say the grandmother's key? The owner comes second in Arabic and it has the genitive case. And the object being possessed comes first and it cannot carry tanween, which will give us مفتاح. مفتاح الجدة. Again, مفتاح الجدة. That's it. I hope you've got it down pat. Now let's end this first half of our Introduction to Simple Idafa series with some terminology. At this stage, we all know what Idafa is and that it is also known as annexation or genitive construction. And now let's see how do we call the first and the second noun of this construction. Let's recall our examples. قلم المعلم، سيارة الجار، مفتاح الجدة. Again. قلم المعلم، سيارة الجار، مفتاح الجدة. Each إضافة construction is made of two parts, مضاف and مضاف إليه. Again, مضاف and مضاف إليه. مضاف refers to the noun/object being possessed, and مضاف إليه refers to the possessor, i.e. the owner. So in the first example, قلم is our مضاف and المعلم is our مضاف إليه. What about the second one? سيارة is our مضاف and الجاري is our مضاف إليه. What about the last one? مفتاح مضاف، الجدة مضاف إليه. As simple as it gets. Well done, everyone. So, in a nutshell, the principle of إضافة applies when two nouns are joined together to make one structure that conveys a possession relationship between two nouns, and it has two parts, مضاف and مضاف إليه. المضاف comes first and it can have any case ending, however, we will only focus on the nominative one for the time being. Let's not also forget to mention that المضاف never takes تنوين or the definite article ال. As for المضاف إليه, it comes second, always takes the genitive case, and it has to be a definite noun. And remember, we are talking about simple إضافة that expresses possession, and most of all that every rule has an exception. We are simply focusing on the basics first, and we will study the exceptions in due course. شكرا على حسن استماعكم. This concludes today's lesson, and don't forget to stay tuned for the second half of this series. Meanwhile, take extra good care, and مع السلامة.